warbird in Texoma's 12 Days of Trekmas. Today, I'm going to be showing off some more of the hallmark ornaments that I've collected throughout the years. Just different ships, I think, are pretty cool to show off during this time of year. Today I am going to be talking about some Romulan ships I have. Now, I've tried throughout this series, I filmed it backwards, so I filmed the last episode first, and I'm going back now to film the first episode last. So I've tried to wear a uniform that I have that correlates to the actual ornaments that I'm showcasing today. I don't have a Romulan ornament, a Romulan uniform, so I'm going with the uniform of Next Generation because that is where we first see this Romulan warbird. The Dideridix class, or Dideridix, or however you pronounce it. I think the fairly standard accepted one is the Dideridix. The big honkin' Romulan ship that we see in Next Generation. This particular ornament came out in '95, and as you can tell from the box, it's pretty large. So it's a big honkin' ornament to go with a big honkin' ship. I used to have some holiday lights, so I did have this hanging at one point years and years ago on display, and I sadly don't have the string of lights anymore or anything like that, so I can't display them. I live in a tiny house, so there's not really a whole lot of room for a whole lot of stuff to be on display. But as you can see, it's a fairly big ship there, taking up most of my hand. This is one of the earlier entries in the Hallmark Ornament series, so it has the good old wire, which I'm sure you've seen a few times by now, and we'll see a few times in upcoming videos. It does have lights, which on this particular ship are limited to just those interior lights there on the warp nacelles. There's a lot of good molded detail throughout this ship. You can see on the top there the hull plating, on the bottom the hull plating. Let me get that string out of the way. All of that good stuff. It's got right there around the neck area, you can see all the detail on the forward part of the ship. The beak, it's got the Romulan logo there at the top of the ship. It's a nice ship if you hang it on a Christmas tree. It would blend in pretty good. It would kind of cloak itself, because it's green. But I don't know. I guess in my memory, I might be remembering it wrong. I thought Romulan ships were a slightly darker shade of green. This is kind of a pale metallic green. I might be wrong on that. I'm not sure, but I just thought it was a little bit darker shade of green. Still very nice ship. Still very awesome. It has, I don't know if you can see it back there, right inside there, the date that it came out, which is 1995. The Hallmark ornaments used to come with the date stamped somewhere, like inked like that, somewhere on the ship. These days, they don't necessarily do that. I don't know if you can see that right there at the edge of the wing. They just put the date in the copyright stamp in the mold, which, yeah, it blends in better, but I always thought it was cool to get the ship and look for where they hid the date on the ship, you know, printed on there or painted or tampographed, however they put the decals and designs and stuff like that on these ships. And to keep in the next gen time frame, again, I know when this ship shows up, this is definitely not the correct uniform, but it is, again, in the next gen time frame of things, although at the very end of the next gen time frame of things. This is, I guess it's not totally a Romulan ship, although it's kind of branded as one. The Scorpion from Nemesis. This is one of the shuttles that Picard and Data steal on the Scimitar, trying to get off of that ship and back to the Enterprise. And they're zooming around throughout the corridors in the ship, you know, using little, I forget if it was micro photon torpedoes or the disruptors or something, blasting through the corridors, the doorways, and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty darn cool. But they actually made a hallmark ornament of that ship, which I think is pretty cool, pretty interesting. That, you know, something out of a couple of scenes in one movie that they thought it was worthy enough to make a ship. This came out in '03, and there's a, I find interesting difference between the actual production model of the ship and what was pictured on the box. Now on the box you can see the cockpit area there. You can clearly see it's a clear canopy, and you can see Picard and Data in it. On the production model, it's very difficult to see. The lighting that I have is not showing up. It's not picking it up. This is actually a tinted cockpit, and there is a little Picard and a little Data inside of the ship, but I mean, you can't see them at all if you're just looking at it dead on. I mean, you have to have the light hit it in just the right way, because this is so tinted in the cockpit, and it's picking up a reflection of the TV and not actually showing inside of the cockpit. So unfortunately, I can't show you the little Data and little Picard in this particular shuttle, or fighter shuttle as you would call it. It does have lights. This is one that I have never had plugged in myself, because I had moved to a location that I didn't have a way to display it when I had bought this one, so it's never been plugged in. I can't tell you exactly where it lights up. There is something that looks like it should. The back thruster area there looks like it would be the light up part, and I believe that is probably the only light up part on this particular Star Trek ship. But as far as like a little shuttlecraft, it's kind of unique. Definitely, in my opinion, like one of those deep cuts that maybe your casual fan might not know about, might not be able to identify, because I mean, a casual fan can easily identify this as a Romulan ship, or a Star Trek ship at the very least. This doesn't really have any Star Trek hints to it, if it was just a loose ship outside of its packaging. But still, pretty cool nonetheless. Little fighter shuttle there. Alright, well, that wraps up this episode. We've still got more days of Trekmas coming, so tune back in tomorrow or whenever you get a chance to watch these videos. Feel free to watch them, share them, like them, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of cool stuff. Y'all be good. Y'all have an excellent holiday season, no matter which holiday or group of holidays or whatever you celebrate, whatever you do. Even if you don't celebrate, just be cool to each other. If you see somebody in need and you have the means to help them out, help them out. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Just a little something. Show the world that there's still good people around, that the world's not just going down the toilet. Alright, sorry about that little preachiness, but I think it's a good thing that we should all remember all the time. I will see y'all next time. Have fun till then. Bye.